This is Grandmaster Boris Alterman and you're watching Gambit-Guide. Hello and welcome back to the new series of the Gambits, and today we will study the Sämisch Gambit, so the most dangerous for black, the variation in the King's Indian defense, so one of the modern and the most interesting opening lines where black is given white the center control after d4, knight f6, c4, black plays g6, knight c3, bishop g7. So instead of fighting for the center as we saw in the Queen's Gambit or in the Nimza Indian defense or even in the Grunfeld defense, so black is just allowing white to capture the center and they planning to attack the d4 square later on. So today we have a lot of fans of the King's Indian defense, including the Timur Rajabov, one of the top chess players, Vasily Ivanchuk, Peter Swidler. This opening line for the first time was played more than 100 years ago by a greatest Russian chess player, challenger for the World Championship title, Mikhail Chigorin. However, the greatest popularity this defense, I would say, the late 50s of the last century, so when David Bronstein and Efim Geller and Isaac Bolislavsky and of course Svetozar Gligorich were playing just almost constantly the King's Indian defense, and it was just one of the most playable opening line. However, instead of usual white is moving his knight on f3, white could try and play in the most aggressive opening line, which we call the Sämisch line, so Sämisch variation. So the German grandmaster Fritz Sämisch developed it in the late 20-30 of the last century, and this opening line just quite dangerous opportunity for black. White immediately protects his pawn on e4, so knight cannot go to g4 later on. White is planning just to bring his bishop on e3 to protect the center very good, and thanks to the very strong position in the center, of course controlling and more space for white, it would be quite difficult for black to organize the counterplay against the white center. However, what is a big problem here for white, that by playing f3, white just takes important center square from its knight, and white will have some problems with his king side development. So the standard continuation of this position, short castling and bishop e3. So, and this is a classical position of the Sämisch variation, and from here black has different ways of fighting against white's center.